There's a version of Crohn's management nobody puts in a clinical guideline, and it's the one that happens in a meeting room, at a school desk, or at a restaurant table when you're trying to look like everything is fine. Hi, I'm Kate, and today we're talking about the social cost of Crohn's and how to navigate work, school, and public life without hiding who you are or oversharing in ways that make things harder. Because what you say and how you say it can either protect you or quietly cost you, and most people with Crohn's have never been given the actual words. When my son was first diagnosed, one of the things that broke my heart wasn't the medication decisions or the diet changes. It was watching him try to figure out what to tell his friends. Do you say something? Do you say nothing? And if you do say something, well, then how much do you say? Because too little and people don't understand why you're bailing on plans. Too much and suddenly you're the sick kid. And that label follows you around in ways that feel worse than the disease itself. My husband went through the same thing as an adult. 3 surgeries, years of unpredictable flares, and a professional life he was trying to hold together at the same time. He told me once that the exhaustion of managing what other people knew or didn't know was almost as draining as the disease itself. And in my practice, I hear this constantly. People who are doing everything right medically, but they're white knuckling their way through every social situation, every work meeting, every family dinner, because they have no script, no language, no middle ground between total silence, and total disclosure. That's what today is about. Here's what most people get wrong about this. They think there are only 2 options. Option 1, hide everything. Don't tell anyone. Push through, look normal, and maybe that works for a while, but it's actually exhausting. It's isolating, and it often means you don't get the accommodations or understandings that you actually need. Option 2, disclose everything. Explain the whole diagnosis, the symptoms, the bathroom situation, the fatigue, and hope people respond with compassion. Sometimes they do, but sometimes you get pity or awkwardness or people who suddenly treat you like you're fragile, and that doesn't feel good either. The real issue isn't whether to tell people, it's knowing how much to tell, to whom, and when. Because here's what I've learned, both as a naturopath and as someone who has watched the people I love navigate this. Disclosure isn't all or nothing, it's a spectrum, and you get to choose where you land on that spectrum depending on the relationship, the context, and what you actually need from that person. You're not obligated to explain your immune system to your boss. You are not obligated to justify your bathroom needs to a teacher. And you are not obligated to sit through a 3-course meal when your body is telling you it's really time to go home. When you are allowed to do is protect your energy, ask for what you need, and stay connected to your life without performing wellness you don't have. That's the middle path. And I'm going to give you 3 real-world scripts so that you can walk it easily. So script 1. Let's start with the one that feels the highest stakes. Talking to someone who has authority over your time and environment. A manager, a teacher, a professor, a school coordinator. The goal here is not to educate them about Crohn's disease. The goal is to get a specific accommodation with the least amount of vulnerability required. Here's the script. You can adapt it, but this is the shape of it. I have a chronic health condition that's being managed by my medical team. It can occasionally affect my energy levels and means I may need flexible access to bathroom facilities, particularly during flares. Now, I'm not asking to be treated differently in terms of expectations, but I did want you to know so that if I need to step out briefly or adjust something on a hard day, you understand the context. That's it. Notice what's in it. Notice what isn't. What's in there is the fact that it's a medically managed condition, the specific accommodation you need, and the reassurance that you're not asking for a pass on performance. What's not in there? The name of the disease, if you don't want to share it, a description of symptoms, or an apology for simply existing. You don't owe anyone your diagnosis. You owe them enough information to work with you effectively. that's a different thing. Now, if you want to name Crohn's, that's completely your call. Sometimes naming it actually helps because it gives people something concrete to understand, but it's optional. The accommodation is what matters. Now, the next script is for the friend who keeps minimizing it. This one is harder in some ways because it's personal. You told a friend, maybe a close friend, and they keep saying things like, oh, everyone gets stomach issues, or you just need to manage your stress better, or have you tried cutting out gluten? And every time they say it, you feel a little more alone. So here's the script for that conversation. Hey, I know you're trying to help, and I really do appreciate that you care, but I want to be honest with you. When I hear things like, whatever they said, it actually makes it harder for me to talk to you about this. I'm not looking for you to fix it. My doctors are managing the medical side. What I actually need from you is just, well, to be heard sometimes. Can you do that? What this does is it names the behavior without attacking the person. It redirects them from problem solving mode, which is where most people go because realistically they actually feel helpless, into presence mode, which is actually what you need. Most people minimize not because they don't care, but because they don't know what to do with something that they can't fix. Giving them a role, please just listen, actually frees them. And if they can't do that, that tells you something important about how much of your health story you want to share with them going forward, which is also useful information. So script 3 is the social opt-out. No Irish exits, or is it French? This is the one for the restaurant, the party, the event, the situation where you just need to leave, or you don't need to go at all. And you don't want to make a big deal of it, but you also don't want to lie, because lying is also exhausting. And I'm fine when you're not fine costs you something every single time you say it. So here's the script. I'm going to have to skip tonight. My body's having one of its difficult days. But I'm really glad that you invited me, and I really do want to be there. Can we find another time when I'm feeling better? Or if you're already there and you need to leave, hey, I need to head off a bit earlier than I planned. I'm really glad I came. Let's do this again. That's it. No lengthy explanation, no apology spiral, no fake excuse that you then have to maintain. My body is having a difficult day. It's honest, it's boundaried, and it doesn't require the other person to know anything about Crohn's disease to receive it with kindness. And the key piece, the part that actually protects the relationship, is the forward reach. Can we find another time? That signals that you value the connection, that you're not withdrawing from them, you're just managing your capacity. Because here's the thing, and this is the thing I want you to hold on to. Protecting your energy is not the same as abandoning your life. It's actually how you stay in your life long term. I think about my son learning to say in his own teenager version, I can't make it today, let's sort something for next week. Watching him get comfortable with that, not ashamed, not over-explaining, just matter of fact, and that was a big moment. And my husband, who spent years in a workplace trying to be invisible about his health, he eventually had one honest conversation with a manager, and it changed everything. Not because the manager became his therapist, but because he stopped spending energy hiding and put that energy back into his work and into himself. If you follow what we talked about today, you're not going to suddenly have a life where Crohn's is invisible, because it's not going to be. But you can have a life where you're not spending your limited energy on managing other people's reactions to your disease, where you have language that protects you, where you stay connected to your work, your friends, your life, without performing a version of yourself that actually doesn't exist. So that's what the middle path looks like, and it's definitely available to you. If this gave you something useful, a script you're going to use, a reframe that landed, share it with someone who needs it, because I promise you, someone in your life is white-knuckling through this exact thing and doesn't have the words yet. And if you want more support, practical, real-world, naturopath and carer, come and find me. My coaching and the Crohn's Method community are built for exactly this kind of navigation. I'll see you in the next video. Have a beautiful day.